Did you know the average person spends 47 minutes per day just trying to figure out what the tech presenter actually meant during a product launch? Yeah, 47 minutes. That is basically a whole episode of your favorite show gone, because someone on stage said something like, the neural engine delivers unprecedented computational fluidity. Bro, what does that even mean? Apple and Samsung have turned product launches into Hollywood movies. Lights dim, music hits. A CEO walks out in sneakers that cost more than my first car. Then they drop phrases that sound smart but leave regular folks scratching their heads. Today we are breaking that code. We are stealing the actual English style they use at those big United States launch events, and we're making it simple so you can sound like you belong on that stage. I have watched every major Apple event and Samsung Unpacked since 2015. I took notes like a maniac. I counted how many times they say incredible. Spoiler alert, it is a lot. And I found the exact tricks they use to make boring specs sound like the second coming of the iPhone. So here are 7 secrets that most people get wrong about tech English from Apple and Samsung launches. And these are the moves that make the crowd go wild in Cupertino or Seoul, but also work perfectly if you are talking to an audience in the United States. First secret, they never say it is better. They say it changes everything. Think about it. When Apple launched the first M1 chip, they did not say this chip is faster than the old one. That sounds like a math textbook. Instead, they said this changes everything. That phrase hits different. It makes your brain think you are about to witness history, not just a spec bump. Regular people get this wrong because we try to be humble. We say we improved battery life by 10%. Apple says, say hello to all-day battery life. See the difference. One sounds like accounting. The other sounds like freedom. If you want to talk like a launch event, you stop comparing and you start declaring. Second secret, they use verbs that feel like superpowers. Listen to a Samsung Unpacked. They do not say the camera takes photos. They say the camera captures moments you did not even know existed, captures, unlocks, empowers, transforms. These words make tech feel like magic. Most of us describe features like we are reading a manual. The phone has a 5,000 milliamp battery, boring. Samsung says this battery powers your day from morning coffee to midnight scrolling. Now it is a story. Your brain pictures yourself living life, not charging a phone. When you talk about tech, you want verbs that sound like you are in a Marvel movie. Do not present features, present superpowers. Third secret, they turn numbers into feelings. Nobody cares that the A18 Pro has 19 billion transistors. That number is huge, but it means nothing to me when I'm watching on YouTube with a bag of chips. So what does Apple do? They say it is so fast, it feels like the apps are reading your mind. Boom. Now I get it. Samsung does the same thing. They do not say 200 megapixels. They say you can crop in and still see the freckle on your dog's nose. That is a feeling. That is a story. Most people mess this up because we think specs sell. Specs do not sell. Stories do. Next time you mention a number, you pair it with something human. Do not say 120 hertz display. Say scrolling so smooth it feels like butter on a hot pancake. Fourth secret, they create a villain and then kill it. Every great launch has a bad guy. For Apple, the villain is usually complicated technology. For Samsung, the villain is often limits. Remember when Apple said goodbye to the headphone jack? They did not just remove it. They said courage. They made the old way the enemy. Then they showed AirPods as the hero. Samsung did it with foldables. The villain was the flat, boring phone. The hero was a screen that folds like a book. Most of us just list features without setting up the problem. That is why our stuff sounds flat. If you want United States launch energy, you need to say, here is what sucks right now, and here is how we fix it. People love a comeback story. Fifth secret, they use 3-word punches. This one is sneaky. Go back and watch any Apple event. You will hear phrases that hit like a drum. Insanely great, ridiculously powerful, shockingly thin. 3 words. Easy to remember, easy to tweet. Samsung does it too. Epic durability. Nightography redefined. These phrases are like hooks in a song. Your brain latches onto them. Most people talk in long sentences that lose energy. We say our new processor offers a significant improvement in energy efficiency across a range of tasks. Yawn. Apple says wicked fast and power efficient. 3-word punch, done. If you want to sound like a launch pro, you practice your 3-word combos. Make them spicy. Make them stick. 6 secret. They make you the main character. Watch how they talk. They do not say, we built a great camera. They say, you are going to love what you can create with this camera. The focus flips from the company to the person watching. Samsung is really good at this. They say, your Galaxy is ready for anything you throw at it. You are the hero. The phone is the sidekick. Most of us do the opposite. We say our product does this and our product does that. That is me energy. Launch English is you energy. When you talk about tech, you should point at the audience. Tell them what they get to do, not what your device can do. That small flip makes people lean in because now it is personal. 7 secret. They rehearse silence. This one blew my mind. The pause after a big reveal is not an accident. It is written into the script. When Tim Cook says this is iPhone 16 and then just stops and looks at the crowd, that silence lets the moment get huge. Samsung does the same. They show the Z Fold open up and then they just let the crowd react. Most people are scared of silence, so we fill it with and so yeah. But silence is a power move. It tells the audience this is important. Let it sink in. If you are making videos, you can use this too. Say your big line, then just chill for a beat. Let the viewer feel it. That is how you go from presenter to performer. Now let me give you a relatable analogy because this is where it clicks. Learning tech English from launches is like learning to cook from a chef on TV. A regular person reads a recipe and says add 2 cups of flour. A TV chef says we are gonna add a cloud of flour and watch the dough come alive. Same action, different energy. Apple and Samsung are the TV chefs of tech. They do not just give you the spec, they give you the sizzle. I remember trying to explain the M2 chip to my cousin Jake from Ohio. I said it has an 8-core CPU and 10-core GPU. He stared at me like I was speaking alien. Then I said, dude, this thing edits video so fast it is like your laptop drank 3 espressos. He said, oh, why did you not say that first? That is the whole game. Translate the spec into a feeling your friend understands. Think about your phone right now. It is probably more powerful than the computers that send people to the moon. But nobody on stage says that because it sounds like a museum fact. Instead, they say this phone lets you film a movie, edit it, and post it before your coffee gets cold. That is United States energy. Big, bold, a little exaggerated, but you feel it. Here's another thing. Launch English is not formal. It is confident casual. They say we think you're going to love it. Not we believe the consumer demographic will respond positively. They say this is nuts. Not this is statistically significant. That is why it works in America. We like tech that talks like our best friend, not our tax guy. So if you are running Brighton English BD and you want your audience to understand real United States tech talk, you practice these moves. Change everything instead of better. Use superhero verbs. Turn numbers into stories. Find the villain, hit them with 3-word punches. Make the viewer the hero. And own the pause. Do it enough, and suddenly your English does not sound like a textbook. It sounds like a keynote. You could be talking about a budget phone from Sydney and still make it feel like it belongs in Apple Park. Because here is the real tea. The tech is only half the product. The other half is the story you tell about it. Apple could launch a toaster, and if they said it toasts bread in a way that redefines breakfast, people would line up. Samsung could drop a smart fridge and call it the hub that empowers your kitchen, and suddenly everyone needs one. Words build the hype. Words make the product feel alive. So next time you watch a launch event, do not just watch the gadgets. Listen to the language. Notice how they never say problem, they say challenge, never say cheap, they say accessible, never say update, they say reimagined. It is a whole different dictionary. And yes, sometimes it is a little extra. Sometimes they say magical when it is just a new color. But that is the point. They are selling a feeling, not a circuit board. We all get this wrong because school taught us to be precise. Tech launches teach you to be persuasive. Precision is for engineers. Persuasion is for the stage. And if you want to talk to a United States audience, you need that stage energy. So let me ask you this. If Apple and Samsung can make a slightly brighter screen sound like the future of human creativity, why do we keep describing our own ideas like they are boring homework?